Hello and welcome to Caran and the heart of the manufacture here in Geneva. I have the absolute pleasure to introduce Carole HUBSCHER, President and CEO of Caran. Hello, Carole.
Hello, Sophie. How are you?
Great, and you?
Very good, thank you.
Wonderful. And we're also joined by renowned designer Alfredo Häberli. Hi, Alfredo. You're a little far over there with the social distancing, but
I hear you.
Oh,
Hello.
that's perfect.
Hello.
Great. Well, before we start, we're going to look at a short introductory video that's going to set the scene for what we're going to announce. So let's take a look.
Hey, hello. Welcome to my studio. Hello, come in, please. This is the laboratory, my studio. We are here in Seefeld in Zurich, just the beginning of the lake. My name is Alfredo Häberli. I'm an industrial designer. I grew up in Argentina, South America, and I'm running my studio since 30 years. We are here in a laboratory, a formal laboratory from the Swiss Electroverein, so every electronic object was tested here, improved, and I'm happy because it's not an agency, it's a design studio, design laboratory, and that's exactly what we do. We develop product, we research on new ideas, on new patents, and this fits very well to be here in a formal laboratory. When I start with a new design, I just let thoughts come up. I look to things, I observe. All these objects that you see here at the mood board, at the pin wall, inspire me, and I can use and try to transfer to other ideas. I ask my heart, what's my passion on that question, on that project? What does my feeling say? All the books or objects you see here, I know every page exactly. I have like a strong, I remember all these images, and then I just let these images, fragments, sentence, words, books, references, I just let them flow. I try not to think in a way, just let them flow. And then afterwards, I try to understand why these images, why this book, why these references are pumping up. And then I try to work on two different ideas, A and H as an example, to make it as different as possible. So then I understand better what I really want. And I always ask, what is the idea? What I'm working on. Color for me is the first decoration you can implement to a product. If you combine colors, just two, you bring two colors together, it starts to vibrating, depends on which one you take. If you take three colors, then it's already a big world that's opened. Color is it's a way to express myself without words. I try to avoid the computer as much as possible. So I really sketch a lot, try to find ideas. I was lucky to learn from my grandfather to draw. So when I was a child, he spent weekends and weekends with us children drawing. I try not to think by drawing, which is essential. I try just to feel my hand, to feel my stomach, to connect my feeling and prolong it with the pencil. This is by drawing essential. And I'm pretty sure that I don't spend any day without drawing. The first connection with Caran was through my uncle in Argentina. When I was a child, he used as an architect to have only fixed pencils. I was very, very small when I was able to sit on his knees and draw with a fixed pencil for the first time. As a child, I never understood the mechanism, the technique of a fixed pencil, but it was fun to push the bottom and to see how the mind comes out.
Wonderful. Well, it's an exciting day today as the pair of you are announcing a collaboration. On one side, Caran d'Ache, the world's most iconic writing and colouring instrument manufacturer, together with you, Alfredo, renowned industrial designer. Carol, how did the collaboration come about?
It's a long story, isn't it, Alfredo? Very long story.
Some years, yes.
Well, it started, I think, back in the 2013.
Yes.
First email you send us, and then we've met once in our boutique in Zurich for the opening of the boutique in 2015. And
So
then
already
finally,
2 years later,
2 years later, exactly, and finally we came with the team to visit your studio, and that was, really, really the first time we've met and we've seen each other, and it was fantastic because every time, I mean, just discovering your studio and all the objects that are all around your studio was absolutely fantastic for us and a great discovery. And of course, as a big fan of your work since years, it was very interesting also to more into details into what you were doing and your passion about fixed pencil and the Caran d'Ache products. Of course, it was almost, how should I say that, almost, something we had to do. We had to do something together.
Oh, that's wonderful. Alfredo, in the film you mentioned one of your first memories of Caran d'Ache. We all have a first memory of Caran d'Ache, so it's beautiful to hear yours. And it was your uncle who was an architect and you would draw with him. How does it feel all these years later, well, not that many years, just a few, to be working directly with Caran d'Ache?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that everybody has a dream as a child. It doesn't matter in which direction, as a football player or as a designer, as an architect, whatever you do. And now to have the possibility to have redesigned a fixed pencil is something that makes me extremely happy. And but it takes time, and I always say good ideas have time, and we have to take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Carole, what was it in Alfredo's work that really appealed to you on a personal level?
I think, you know, Alfredo is very good at tradition and innovation. And these words are extremely important also to us because we are also working on very traditional products, but we're always trying to put some twist in it and bring some innovation and creativity into everything that we do. And of course, for us, it's important also to find collaboration that makes sense. And definitely with Alfredo, not only because he's Swiss, of course, this is a big advantage when you are Swiss, but the fact also that he understands our products, that you are caring about that kind of objects as well, that are important into your life. It makes sense that that we work together on such collaborations.
If I'm not mistaken, you were allowed to choose a little bit which Caran d'Ache products you could work on. Is that right?
At the beginning, Carole was saying, okay, let's do a pen. I think 839, something like that. And it's okay. I say, okay, let's add some value to it. So let's put a wooden pencil to it. But then at the end, I saw, no, if I have to do something for Caran, if I can do something for Caran, then it has to be a fixed pencil. And I discovered the fixed pencil when I was in the study, because there was this extremely known exhibition about anonymous Swiss design, which the name was Unbekannt Vertraut. That was mid-80s, so 86. And there I found all this the history of Caran d'Ache and the fixed pencil, the invention, and for me it was like clear. It took my childhood came immediately to this point, and then the future. So I was from this moment on dreaming to do a fixed pencil.
Okay.
And that was clear that and then I had to convince several other years, Carole, to make a fixed pencil, because you know, who is using a fixed pencil today? Architects are drawing, many people. So we are lucky, we hope. So that was a little bit the beginning.
Yeah, it's true. It's a very emblematic product in your line. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of it for those who maybe don't know?
Yeah, it's a very emblematic product because it's one of the first innovations of Caran d'Ache. And at the time, for the little story, at the time, I'm talking back in 1929, there were a shortage of wood, and it was complicated for us to produce pencils like the ones that you've seen, that you see here, because of the wood, lacking of wood. So that's why our engineers here in Geneva started thinking of a metallic body to be able to add the lead inside and to replace at a certain point the wood. And that's how it all started. So the fixed pencil is really the first mechanical pencil in the world with a very specific clutch system that holds the lead and that fits perfectly well also in the hand. And what is so special also about the fixed pencil is how can you sharpen the lead? So there is a little twist there as well. If you pick up the fixed pencil, you just take the back part of the fixed pencil, and inside you have a little sharpening machine to sharpen just your lead.
It's perfect.
Fantastic.
I love it.
Great design.
Yeah. Alfredo, you did quite a lot of research as well into the fixed pencil. Were any fun things that you found?
Yes, I started to collect pencils because I'm a big admirer of anonymous object that you use every day. So it could be a door handle, a watch, a pencil. I'm also a big admirer of intelligent objects. So I try to use always this intelligence. As an example, a sailboat, it's fantastic because it uses the wind to move. Or if you have an automatic watch, the movement charge automatically. And these things, and fixed pencil, it's in the same line in a way, like this Swiss innovation. And I wish to have this idea, but I didn't have it, so I was too young. But yes, I really admire this, and I'm industrial designer because I want to do objects for the everyday life. And a pencil, it's for me something that I really have every day in my hand. So
it's
that's
the tool of creativity, right?
Yes,
it's a little bit the tool of creativity for you
yes.
designers. Yeah.
And how in the movie I told a little bit about my Swiss grandfather, and it was quite interesting to spend the weekends with him, and then we started just drawing, but just making lines, endless lines, to stop your brain, you know. So to meditate in a way with the pencil, and after then we start drawing. It was first like 15 minutes of calm down, don't talk, just move your hand, don't think, just get automatically. And this was nice, and that's something which I connect with my stomach, the pencil, and my brain. It's something in between. Sometimes I feel that the ideas are coming, and this is some very, very nice feeling when you have that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
Or when you
story.
choose a profession that you can use that. So
Yes. I'm going to try that as a stress relief. I know
as
you
a
draw
writer,
as
maybe
well.
you have to write sentence, endless sentence, maybe. I don't know.
Exactly. It's true that you've designed so many different products, from furniture to lighting, tableware, and also larger architectural projects, interior design. Was it challenging to go down to something so small?
Yes, it is one of the smallest objects I designed until today. Yes, it's also the preciseness, but in this case, I was redesigning it. So some of the elements, I don't know if I have to
please show us.
I mean, some of the grooves here for the grip that was already in the history of Caran d'Ache. So we took some ideas which I don't have any problem to take from the past, from the archive, and to reintroduce it because it's fantastic grip and a nice also decoration, but also nice structure to it, with which in the front anodized aluminum, or also like Carol mentioned, the sharpener in the back. The normal one until today, it's like in plastic and you have to grip, but this is in aluminum and has also three grooves. to have the right grip to take it out. And this could be a Häberli again, but yes, it was invented by Caran, and I like these elements. Yeah. In this case here, we have a warmer color, a combination of the anodized front part and the matte lacquerate in the back, in an ochre combination with electric blue in the back. And the other one, it's more a cooler one, a darker, which has this color plum, you call it. And here you don't see maybe in the camera, but it's a very, very dark blue. So you have to look twice to it. And this is something that I always work on it, that you don't see immediately the Häberli. You have to look twice, and then you discover by time to time what I mean by that.
Yeah.
And the same, it's the packaging. We are used to look to the project all around, like the whole project from everything what we do. And in this case, the packaging, it's also interesting because I try to add some value to it. You don't have to throw it away. It really hurts me. And we have here the openness of this packaging. And if you take away the inner lay and also the leaflet, the user instruction that I draw myself by hand and
it's
explain
so nice.
it. Yeah,
I love
just
your
also
style.
to say I don't want pictures. I want to
Yes.
have Häberli as much as possible. So it was also interesting with Caran to come to this point that I want to explain the pencil myself. And here you have an etui with a magnet closement that you can take with you, with your pencil, your personal things. But at the meantime, you can lean it on the desk, have it as an organizer on the desk. So
yes.
these two ideas, it's exactly typical for me, that I really like to add value to a product.
Yeah.
And this is quite...
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
makes sense.
It makes sense.
But of course today has another value
Yeah.
because it's really sustainable, the packaging, and we work on that. Everyone has to work on that. So
Of course.
if you throw away, and I'm pretty sure people will keep it because of the drawing,
Yeah.
Yes.
even the user instruction, people can imagine that they frame it or whatever. I
Yeah,
hope
I'm
so.
sure. I'm sure. I'd love to talk to you about colour for a moment, because you spoke about colour in the film, and we have these most amazing colours. So we have plum and the dark blue violets colour, and ochre and brick, but also the leads inside. You have periwinkle blue, Prussian blue, emerald green, ochre, like colours that make you dream, you know, make me want to start writing and drawing straight away. How did you choose these colours?
Of course, it was quite hard to talk about color during the study, because in Switzerland it was clear, like red is for stop, green is for go, you know, it's like very heavy. So, and I was used to have the nuance in between, but it was kind of difficult to talk as an industrial designer about the emotion of colors. And in this case, also in architecture, you have like the yellow wall is the structure, the red is building, you know, when you have your typical drawings in the architecture. But I wanted to add 4 other colors, which are light, emotional, warm, cold, but who fits with the both pencil well. So that was a little bit the idea. So the freedom of 4 different other colors, not the yellow, the red, the blue, and the green. So kind of how do I look to that color? And Caran is the best company for colors. So
Of course.
I don't know how many colors you have in the catalog. But
Oh, we have so many colors in the catalogue, about 400 different shades, I think, that we have today. And yeah, as you're saying, we're trying really to be the masters of colors, and this is really our mission also, to bring all those shades to the public, to our artistic community, for instance, because it's true, depending to every artist has different feelings also about colors and the use of color, and some of them, if they draw landscape, they would need much more greens and brownish colors. The others that are doing portraits would need some other shades and so on, and that's why in here we really have our experts in R&D that are really working and focusing also on developing those new colors constantly. And yeah, it's by choosing, first of all, the right raw materials. That's very, very important, the raw material, because it's like in haute cuisine, you have to have the correct ingredients. And for us, what is so important is making sure that the color remains on the paper, because you know, when with the light, with the sun shedding on the color, the color might disappear. And for us, the light resistance is really one key element in all of our development, and we have really experts that are working around that constantly in order to develop new shades. For instance, at Christmas, we managed to make again the bleu clin, you know, from Yves Klein. And it's a very specific blue, and it took us many months to develop this color again. And that's what we're doing constantly at Caran d'Ache.
I had an extremely interesting art history at school, at like this design school. The same professor took one semester, the art history, and we repeat exactly the same images, the same history twice in the next semester by just looking to the color. That was the must. You know, when you have the Dutch painting, the Renaissance, the Italian, but we looked exactly to the same by just looking to the color.
Yeah.
And he explained the whole background. That was really the most interesting art history I ever had, because you were knowing the painting already, but by looking to the color, a totally new dimension of it. And that was for me the starting point of passion for color. It was like, wow, it's obviously why you react to color, but it's difficult to describe it, you know. I like it.
Definitely. Carol, it's one thing to design a product. Sometimes it's quite another to produce it. Did Alfredo's designs cause you any challenges?
Tell me about it.
Excellent.
Why don't you have gray hairs, Carol?
Not yet. No, maybe not me, but some people around here, yes, definitely. No, it was extremely challenging because, of course, it's one thing when you have a drawing, but afterwards also to put it into reality and produce it. To make a prototype, it's not a big deal, let's put it this way. But to produce it afterwards, it's more challenging. And of course, making sure that we could really put your vision of the color and those two color shades with actually two different finishes, what was quite of a challenge. But, well, we finally managed, you know, and for us, what is so important, of course, is that, we comply with your vision of and your drawings, but also to the quality standards that we put into all the products that we're manufacturing here in Geneva. So, it was a challenge, but here we are, finally.
It's so, after so many years, but doesn't matter. But I think it's exactly the challenge for me as a designer, to work and do it with the industry. It looks easy to do just 2 colors or 3, but to have the quality of it, to have the finished product done, and then you give guarantee, whatever, all this, it's so big in the background that we don't imagine. Or also the packaging, it looks so easy now to open it and say, oh, you can reuse it. Wow, why nobody did come up with this idea before? But yes, it's a good nightmare.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, one last question for you, Alfredo. What's it like after all these years designing and going back and forth to actually see the pencil in the flesh? What was the emotion when you saw it?
First, I have now a very nice friendship with CAROLE, I have to say. But I feel like maybe Roberto Benigni in the 1999, when he received an Oscar, he was like very emotional about it. Life is beautiful. So I feel extremely cool. Well, my dream came true. I'm proud of it. I'm proud to work for Caran d'Ache. I think it's one of the Swiss iconic companies like Swissair, like Bali, DC, the Caran. So, and I work for all these companies. So for me, it's an honor.
Yeah.
Yes, and I feel very happy.
Oh,
Same
wonderful.
for us. Thank you, Alfredo.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's very nice. Thank you so much.
Now we're going to pass to our questions and answers session, if you're okay with that.
Of
So
course,
feel free to
of course.
type in the chat box. I have my iPad here. I'm going to read out your questions. So let's take a look. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Let's see.
Oh. So first question for you, Carole. It's, it's not the first time that you collaborate with designers. How do you choose who to work with?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think for Caran d'Ache, all the collaborations we've made since the beginning are authentic collaborations. I think it's very important that the story that goes around a product is an authentic story. Yeah, we made collaborations with designers, with architects, with different artists that all had a story with Caran d'Ache, a link, an emotional link, or a passion for Caran d'Ache, and vice versa. So I think, yeah, yeah, authenticity is really the word behind it.
Okay. All right, so let's see. Next question. Alfredo, you're up. At the start of the project, what design brief, if any, did you receive from Caran d'Ache? Did you receive any instructions or guidelines or?
No. It was more a dialogue in between Carole and me. Like I told before, she first thought, okay, let's do a pen. And then immediately I add a wooden pencil to it with a ruler on it that I found also in the archive of Caran d'Ache. But then I I didn't receive any brief. It was more a dialogue in between us.
Yeah, and it was really,
yes,
the fixed pencil. The fixed pencil
was in a way then clear after.
It was so clear because I mean that's the first product you talked about when we've met, that you are using every day. It's part of you actually. So
yes, it's prolongation.
It was
of
an
my
évidence, as we say in French.
Okay, evidentemente.
Now I have a question for both of you. Will there be another collaboration in the future, maybe?
Why not? We'll see. I mean, everything is open. I mean, we just finally finished this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, you know, there is always a possibility to continue the story, like we do with some designers, and yeah, of course, we'll see.
In my case, yes.
Yeah.
She doesn't know, but I have two
Oh, you
new
have
ideas.
ideas.
Yeah.
Oh, you have ideas. That's good.
We go for dinner now and we see. But first we go to the market with that, and then I sleep, and then we start.
Exactly.
Restart.
Exactly.
Perfect. Will this be available straight away, or is it coming out later in the year?
No, it's available. It's available, I think, in most countries already, and it will be available as of tomorrow online as well.
Okay, perfect. Wow, we have a little surprise, don't we, Alfredo? Because you're going to demonstrate how to use the pencil with your artistic hand.
No question anymore?
No,
Okay,
no, I think
good.
we're getting
done.
close to
Good.
time,
Okay.
and I'm
Good.
sure everyone,
Yeah, sure.
would
Don't
love to
forget
see
to
you.
take one.
Yeah, don't worry. So it's always difficult to to draw something, but in this case I will take
Sorry, I
a little
didn't
bit an
see.
homage to
Okay.
Caran d'Ache. So I will start by drawing the fixed pencil, which
Just
is,
one.
like
Just
we
one.
all know, quite from the history, we know them well. So it's this hexagonal 6 facet that you never see all from one side. Then, of course, I think the character, the clip is also quite iconic. In a way, it's even not designed. I would say it's quite, like I told before, quite anonym. And here, where I try to draw myself, it's always portrait's good, but this is my silhouette from the side, walking. Because Caran d'Ache always has this figure, the human figure, so I thought maybe I should also do a figure. And maybe instead of the lead, maybe I do. I'm now using, I think it's a LED B. So I like quite a lot to use the very soft LED. Here now some color. We put already before some color, now in green. Here it's more the violet. I always say if I would have not been a designer, maybe I would have become an engineer or a cartoonist, because I like to do with less, in this case lines, create emotion. Now I show here that you can use like the lead with water, so you can more or less do kind of an aquarelle, which I think it's a quality to open new emotions to color. So. I go back, I come back, good, okay. Oh, my hair, a little bit of gray hairs. So.
Lovely.
I'm dying to see your picture. We'll go and take a look afterwards. While you were drawing, a couple more questions came in. So the first one is, why did you choose these two shades of colors for the pencil?
I wanted to have a cool color, more relaxed combination, and one more warm. That was a little bit the reason, yeah, to have really two different. And I'm pretty sure people will have to choose one or the other. Yeah. And I just wanted to have a little bit of contrast in between these two.
Okay.
So that was...
that makes sense. And we have one lovely question to finish on. Your work really conveys joy and happiness. Is that on purpose?
Yes, that's my natural spirit. I think it's the Latin, the Argentinian part, yes. Yes, I really choose a profession which is fantastic, allows me to translate all my dreams in reality. And I really look that I enjoy what I do, even if it takes time, if it is hard. If you get gray hairs, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But it's, I implement joy a lot in it. It's part of my salary in a way, so it's quite essential, for me.
That's a wonderful way to
That's why I always say I only choose to work with people I like, and that's again, like now we became friends. We became friends, and that happens in the last 30 years of my studio. I have clients, but they are not clients anymore, they are friends today, so that's the maximum you can reach. Then every project is nice then.
That's a wonderful way to close our discussion for today. So thank you so much to the pair of you for sharing your adventure with us. And for everyone watching, if you would like to have a one-on-one interview with either Carole or Alfredo, that's totally possible. Just contact your press officer, who will take care and set that up so you can ask your questions even more. Thank you for everyone who sent questions in. Sorry to those of you who we didn't get a chance to answer, but I hope you've enjoyed it today. I've certainly had fun learning about this. So thank you and see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.